The early days, the times were so different 30-some years ago that it's impossible to compare then to now. Then there was pencil and paper, the post office. Phone calls were difficult and costly. So the method of correspondence was a correspondence, paper and pencil. The real change came about in the mid-'80s, and then the big change came in the early '90s when the internet finally took hold and became the preferred method of communication. Once that opened up, the school became electrified. And we were now able to reach people by posting our webpage. And people would come to us, and we would go searching for the people through the web primarily. And the method of communication, of course, was emails, and now it's electronic telephones that are hooked up to your computer, and it's by disk, and it's by iPhones and iPods and iPads. So things are quite a bit different. We've tried to expand with that difference, and we've kept the place, our trust in the one-on-one relationship. But around that relationship, we've built all sorts of support systems that are now available. I remember when we had to get a physical library in the '80s, and the physical library we got was by partnering with such major universities as the University of California at Irvine, where our learners could go to the local library, request a book, and it would be delivered, and etc. So that was, by today's standards, quite a horse and buggy to think of it. Today, we have an online library which accesses every volume, every periodical in every library in the United States. The electronic communication system is so vast and so complex and complete that we have access to every library from right here. We can get them publications, we can get them access to books and articles, etc. Every mentor is on our webpage, has their own website. Every learner has their own website, and they all talk to each other. So therefore, an assignment might be in a course to check out what other people think on a particular topic. The learner can post that and invite conversation. And the conversations are posted so that people can see them at any time. And in this way, your experience is not only with the mentor faculty, but it's with every other faculty person in our universe, or every other learner in our universe. So practically speaking, the whole world is your learning environment. And if you have a question that pertains to a course or your need, you can post it. Now we have the social networking, which can be used for this particular purpose of finding out what the rest of the world thinks about things. So the sphere of knowledge has expanded. And by having an online university such as ours, we tap into all of these. We're not limited by the four walls which constitutes a classroom. That's obsolete. That's obsolete. Our university is the university for the 21st century, not a makeover of last century or 2 centuries ago. This is what learning is going to be all about for this next 100 years, for this 21st century. And we are at the forefront of it. We've grown up with it. We see what works when we were using pencil and paper. We see that the same learning dynamics between a mentor and a learner persists. And what we want to do is have this continue but have the support system that you need. So what we have looked at and what has emerged is that we have another saying: we put the learner first in distance learning, because the learner is our customer, okay, in those economic terms that we use, marketing terms. And we want the learner to get a good product at a good cost to them, and they should feel that they got their money's worth, that they've earned something and they've learned something, and it was worth the effort and the money and the time spent. So therefore, what we've done is we call our learners with a capital L. We started that 30-some years ago, because we felt that they were the center of the process, not the talking professor, not the canned speeches, not the fancy programming that you might see, but the real heart of it, learning, is again having the mentor and the learner at the opposite ends of a log. Today, the log is an internet cable or an internet satellite hookup. But again, the learner is as close as the video screen. And by having this central concept that the learner is central to the core of our operation, every one of our support services is intended to make the learning process easier, more comfortable, and more responsive. So therefore, we provide library services. We provide academic advisors. We provide financial ways of accomplishing the paying the tuition. And we have a support system here so that the learner can concentrate on what they should be doing best, which is learning.